thing on. Okay, it seems to be working. Okay, it seems to be working. It's like way behind though. That's the big problem here. Working. It's like way behind though. Like there's like a I want to say like a 20-second delay between everything. Okay, yeah. Let me just, that's the big problem. This thing's way behind. Holy shit. Oh well. I don't need to be current, I just need to showcase stuff. My god. The delay on this, though. Like, wow. But what can you do, you know? Okay. So yeah, I got my Switch hooked up to this thing. Gonna try to get my PS5 hooked up to it later on, but my room is set up in such a way where it's really, really difficult to do that conveniently. Because I literally only have one place I can put my laptop. So like, streaming through the laptop makes things a bit difficult for me, but I'm thinking I'll just buy an extra cable for that. See if that fixes it. That fixes things, right? Ah, damn. I see frame. So yeah, this is Breath of the Wild. Probably one of the better Zelda games ever made. I mean, there have been quite a few that are really good, but this is like... How this... Okay, back when I first played Twilight Princess, when I was a lot younger. Shit. Hold on. I like the idea that there could be a potentially open world Zelda game, but it never felt like it would ever like happen because every open world game in all of history tended to have limits. You know, there were limits to how far you could go, how big they could be. There never felt like there was going to be a game that was like just purely exploration. And then this one came along. This particular Zelda title came along, you know, and it was everything I'd ever dreamed an open world Zelda game would be like. It really was. Like it seems like it doesn't have a lot to it at first, because you know the activities in this game are absolute bare minimum. Like you go do shrines, you go do Korok puzzles, you explore and fight stuff from time to time to get better weapons, and that's it. You know, but this game has a lot of mechanical depth, which makes exploring and experimenting with it a lot of fun, which really helps it. Like the mechanical depth of this game is something else. Let me tell you, like there aren't a lot of games that do shit that this thing does. Like, for example, what you just saw there, where the meat froze, right? That's a thing in this game. You can just leave meat out in these cold areas, and it'll do that. You can build a fire, and you can sear that meat. And just cook it, you know? It's crazy what you can get away with in this game. It seems basic, but like, there's a lot of cool shit you can do in this game with just an elemental system alone. And again, there's a lot of stuff that adds to the gameplay value, like if you make a bunch of fires, you can use them as like a platform. Let me show you real quick. I'm just gonna That. Hold that. Put that there. That. I need to cut some more trees down real quick, so... This game does have flaws. The weapon system is like the biggest point of contention whenever I talk about this game. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really reward finding weapons. They're just a means to an end, which is, you know, getting through the combat. And it feels very restrictive in that regard, but it is still absolutely an amazing game. Okay, so... Hold that. Put those there, come together, and bam. You got a platform that you can just fly from. That's crazy. And that's like anything with a lot of fire, but like you can make your own air platforms like this. And this isn't even touching upon the crazy physics shit you can do with bombs and stuff, you know? I haven't even tried that. So this is a game that's really good. I mean, it's the best way to describe it. It doesn't really have much in the way of a full-blown gameplay loop, but the way you can experiment with stuff is easily the highlight of the game. But yeah, this is just a test stream. I'm not like seriously gonna get into playing this. I've gotten most of the shrines. I'm still looking for the other remaining, I think, 4 or 5, because I have like 5 more to go, but I just can't ever find them. So like when I was playing this earlier at work, I was like, it'd be great if I could just find that shrine. So that's what I was doing out here. Is I was looking for that. Cool thing about those enemies, the Stalfos type enemies, is they're like a very unique challenge. Because if you kill them, if they fall apart, like so long as one head's alive, the rest will still be alive and ready to fight you. And the one head can just direct the other bodies, which is interesting. And you can do a lot of cool shit with that, like have them chase their head around and stuff. Because it only takes one hit to disable their bodies. But it's just the idea that, like, they get right back up really fast, and you have to, like, take them out before they take you out. Because until you take out that last Stalfos head, they'll all be active threats. Anyway. You know, I'd stream Endwalker. I'd love to do that, but unfortunately, my internet is not great, so I can't do that. Like, I can stream one thing, but I can't, like, play an online game and stream. That's not a thing I could do. I really wish I could. But yeah, I'm probably going to be playing Endwalker, but I'm just, like, testing this out, making sure it all works. And... love that you can still do this with the Master Sword. It's not quite the same as it used to be, it's just the weapon throw, but, like... you can cut grass with it. It's really cathartic. I like that. Look at that shit. It's awesome. I'm a simple man. I enjoy simple pleasures. Cutting grass with the Master Sword's blade beams is one of those simple pleasures. It's like my favorite thing to do. There's another thing you can do here, like, you can photograph and catalog things. There's an entire compendium in this game just for that. It's like a collectible thing. Literally called the Hyrule Compendium. So, like, I haven't done that yet. I haven't tried that, but I'm planning to later on. I've gotten all the dragons. Basically, the dragons are like the ultimate ingredient givers. You just shoot their horn or their claw. Try to go for the horn whenever you can, though. and they'll just give you a piece of their horn, leave right afterwards, because you can only do that once a day. But if you cook an ingredient or cook some food with their horns, it gives you the ultimate buff for that ingredient. So, like, I think I've already done that, actually. Let me see here. One of these, maybe. Yeah, here it is, right here. Spicy fried wild greens. But yeah, that gives you, like, the maximum duration, which is awesome. So it's always worth farming their horns if you, like, say, just want to do the ultimate attack buff or something. Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about. You see, like, so killing 2 of these heads won't matter. You have to kill all the heads, or you'll be dealing with 3 enemies regardless. So there's a bit of depth in combat here, but unfortunately I seem to have used up the Master Sword's energy, so yeah, that's the problem with this game's combat, you see. Even the Master Sword follows the rules of this game's weapon system, which it's not a great system. Let's be real here. I mean, it works for what it's trying to go for, but it feels too punishing, is the problem. A lot of people don't like that, and that's understandable. There are also set bonuses. Now, normally, if you touch these guys without this armor on, you'd instantly freeze. But upgrading your armor with the Great Fairies gives you set bonuses, which in this case this is the unfreezable set. So I can literally never be frozen ever, so long as I'm wearing this. On top of having protection from like the heat and cold and stuff. So that's useful. That kind of trivializes the ice taluses a bit. Another thing that the combat has is something I demonstrated earlier, which is the elemental system. If you have a fire weapon and you go up against something like, say, this ice Lizalvos here, it's going to instantly kill them. So you can use this to completely trivialize them. Right? And this goes for pretty much any ice element enemy aside from like bosses, who just take a lot of damage from what I know. But there's more to this. The elemental weapons also offer you protection from the cold or the heat, depending on where you're at. So equipping the flame blade, see that gauge there just below like the green thing, green stamina bar? That's your temperature gauge. Now if I were to unequip that, suddenly I get colder, right? I'm still not freezing, but like this helps tremendously. Now, say for example I take off a piece of gear. Okay, still not frozen. See, now I'm cold. So even with the heat of the blade, it's not going to protect me, right? Let's see here if I can. So hold this. Now I'm fine. See, now I'm warm, so I'm like out of the cold gauge. Between that and the sword. So I could sit by this fire in this cold area, and then again, that's like, this is a thing the game does where it like makes the details matter in the gameplay. The elemental system is great for this exact reason. It really is probably the game's most interesting part, that the exploration, because this is a huge, huge open world. The most important thing of all is it's an open world which has pretty much pieces from every Zelda game to ever exist, which I think is cool. Something else you can do in here where you can ride almost anything, including bears. You can't, like, keep them. That's only horses, but, oh, Korok puzzle. Okay, let me, oh boy. Damn. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now! Haha! I've never once considered finding every single Korok in the game. That would be crazy. Because there are 999 of those things. And what I found out is, apparently if you get all of them, like, if you actually go the distance and get all of them, you get a golden pile of shit. I'm not even kidding. That is a thing that happens. Like, so your reward for collecting every last Korok seed is that it was all one giant poop joke. That's it. That's the payoff. This is what you wanted to see. Oh man. This game is funny sometimes. Now, but the elemental system is great because it also extends to certain things like with the choo-choo jellies. Choo-choo jellies, you can affect them and make them a different element with like elemental weapons and stuff. But each one has its own like unique thing. Like red choo-choo jellies, for example. If you strike them, they explode into fire, right? So like, boom, like that. That could be very useful. Because you effectively have free flint. Blue? You can freeze enemies with them. Or, sorry, not blue, white. Blue doesn't do anything. Blue is like the neutral element that you can, like... You can eventually just turn them into, like, a different element of choo-choo jelly by just attacking them with that element. And there. See? You can't turn them back. Once they're, like, elementally charged, that's it. But that has its own set of uses. And, again, like, there's a lot of minor stuff like that. Like, okay, here we go. Damn. Or ah, shit. Okay, I guess you can turn them back. Damn. I'm just gonna kill him now. I don't want to deal with that. I'll show you guys something amazing, and he fucked it up for me. Ah. Oh well. That's how it goes. Okay, let me try this out. Try it. Nope, nope, I'm good. I have to hop on right on top of him. Oh, shit. Okay, so yeah, that's that for right now, I guess. I'm just testing this out. I don't really want to play Breath of the Wild right now. I'm just like, I want to make sure it's actually streamable, that it's actually going to work. My mount. Oh, my mount. You mean Ganon? Let me go to a stable and summon him real quick. One sec. Yeah, that'll do. Like, I have a lot of horses, but I specifically got the white and black ones. The white one is the Zelda horse. It's probably the best horse in the game. The black one is the best one, but it doesn't really, like... It's the strongest one, but it doesn't really have any stamina, so it doesn't, like, run or anything. But it's my favorite because it's really fucking huge and evil looking, and it's just like... It's basically... If Ganondorf was a horse, that would be that horse. And I think that was deliberate. Like, they wanted that to happen. It's also the hardest one to tame. trying to capture that thing was an adventure. Okay. I still haven't figured out how to, like, make the teleporting saddle work. I can't seem to equip it, so... Oh, right. So that over there is Satori Mountain. And that's actually a homage to Iwata, I believe, who died recently. Well, not recently, but he's dead now. And at that mountain, you can actually find a really, really rare creature called the Lord of the Mountain. And you can ride it. It's really cool. But whenever you see that mountain up in the distance glowing like that, right? That's because the Lord of the Mountain is there. It's a really rare encounter, but like you can like, if you see the mountain glowing, you'll know he's there, and you should go there and capture him. You can't keep him, you can't register him or anything. He's like just a really rare beast that you can befriend. Okay. Let me see if we can just teleport there. I've already got the shrine there, so it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, it's Satori Mountain. Now, to catch this thing, you have to really carefully sneak up on it, because it's also surrounded by bloopies, which are like little weird blue bunny things that you shoot for rupees. So, let me try to... I'm assuming when you said mount, you meant, like, literally the horse. I don't really know, like, for sure. Because I've never used this sort of thing before, so I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. The Sheikah armor set gives you stealth. Or rather, it makes you quieter, which is really what you need to sneak up on that thing. I don't know if I'll find it, but let's see. But yeah, you see how everything's turned green all of a sudden, right? And now you got music and shit, like... Anyway, there's the Lord of the Mountain right there. I'm gonna try to sneak up on him, best as I can. Okay, better use the stamina thing, because he ain't having it. It's very difficult to tame. There we go. Okay, Lord of the Mountain tame. This will last until we release him. But yeah, he looks like an eldritch abomination. You have to wonder where the fuck this thing actually came from, because thinking about it is like, what the fuck? The weirdest part is if, like, you scare him off and he runs off, he actually runs off into the rocks there, and just vanishes into them. So it's like he shifts into a completely different dimension. Creepy horse from the spirit realm, basically. But yeah, once you tame him, you can just feed him a bit and stuff, and after a while he'll just run off. Because you can't keep him. You can never keep the Lord of the Mountain, as he's technically, like, one big reference to Iwata, so why would you want to tame him, you know? He's a good moth eldritch horse thingy. Anyway. So, I'm assuming everything's working. Oh good, the Master Sword's fully charged again. Ha! That never gets old. Oh, yep, there he went. There are only 2 places with, like, cherry blossoms in all of Hyrule. This is one of them. And the other place is actually the Deku Tree. He's, I guess, a cherry tree or something. I'm not really sure. Let me see here if I can find it. Okay, that's not it. There it is, there it is. You can actually see it all the way across the way. Getting in there is kind of a chore, though, because the Lost Forest is exactly what it sounds like. It's a forest where you get lost. And there's an entire minigame you always have to do to get in. Like, you can never clear the Lost Woods. You can never, like, clear it out completely. It's just... you just find your way in there, and from there you just go. And you can't fly in there or cheat it at all, as far as I know. Like, there might be a trick to it, but I've never been able to do it. So, like, short of teleporting in once you find the shrines, you can't really get in there normally. And I'm just going to show you guys that, because this is actually, like, one of the coolest parts of the game when I first got there. Getting into the Lost Woods is, it's interesting. It's interesting how they did that. Because it's easy once you figure it out. It's just figuring it out at first. Yeah, I'm sure there was a hint or something, but I never saw it. I sort of just pieced it together on my own. But anyway, I'm going to head over there real quick. There's also another forest right across from this one that's also equally weird and creepy because it's a forest shrouded in complete darkness. The whole island is just dark. Like somebody just took all the light and took it away. And that's a cool area. But it's also really freaky because it's like, why is that place like that? Why? There are a lot of whys in this game that I keep asking myself when I, like... Okay. So here's the entrance. And the thing about this is, the way to not get lost is to follow the wind. So what you need to do is check the wind, which is, in this case, fire. So the direction the fire is going is the direction you go. I don't have a torch on me, but we won't need one for this. But yeah, you have to, like, check the trail of the flames, basically. And in this case, I don't think I can, so I'll try to find another weapon for this. Something I can use like a torch. Yeah, okay, there we go. I can kind of see the sparks trailing off this. And again, like, you gotta follow the direction of the fire. It's not just follow the fire, you literally have to, like, figure this out on your own as you're going and, like, say, oh, okay, the fire's pointing a certain way towards each flame, right? Then, after a certain point, you start running out of flames. And suddenly you gotta find your own way. And you'll start picking this up on your own, which is great, you know? But, like... Okay, here's where they give you a torch. I'm gonna need that, because that's a better indicator of, like, where to go than anything else. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. But yeah, You just follow the direction the torch is pointing, and that's that. Simple, right? But you have to be careful about it and take it slow to make sure you're going the right direction. And once you see like a torch or something, you try to zero in on that. When I first encountered this area, I thought this was the coolest shit ever because they sort of intuitively teach you this. And you pick up on it, right? You just naturally start thinking, oh, okay, that's what I got to do. They hold your hand for a bit and show you like where each flame is. Then they put you in this area where like you have to figure it out. And they give you a torch and like, okay, make your own fire now. And once it clicked, it was like, oh, this is brilliant. This is actually really good level design. And this is really simple, too. That's the thing. But they don't tell you anything. They show you. They push you into doing it yourself. And then it, you know, feels rewarding, right? And that's what I like about this area here. Like, inconvenient being teleported to the entrance business aside. Them kind of showing you what to do and how to get through it. And then forcing you to pick it up yourself and do it. Like, and you just figuring it out on your own. That's great. I like that game design. We should know what it's called, aside from good game design. But the trick here is they make you feel like you earned it. You know? Like, because you did. Give you a puzzle to solve, give you visual clues to solve it with, and here you are. And I think we're actually at the entrance now. Close to it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're basically done now, so I just gotta... If I need more fire, I'll just do that, but I think we're actually... Yeah, here we are. Yeah, we're at the Deku Tree now. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can surf on shields in this game. It's awesome. Look at that shit. That is the coolest. Now, my biggest gripe with this particular area is that the frames drop like crazy. I'm not a fan of how the frame rate works in this area. But, you know, what can you do? This looks a lot more vibrant on my screen than it does on the stream. Like, everything here is a really vivid shade of green. On the screen it's just, oh, it's flat. I don't know why that is. But, well... Oh, well. Anyway, that's the Deku Tree up there. He's probably one of the only versions of the Deku Tree who's just kind of a grumpy old man. Every Deku Tree is friendly, but this guy. This guy's just like, ugh, you darn kids, why you gotta be failing to save Hyrule? Ugh. Breath of the Wild Deku Tree is just really fucking depressed. When you think about it, like, he's just, like, really not happy to be here and all. He doesn't talk or anything after, like, the cutscenes and stuff. Like, you can talk to him. There's a platform specifically you have to do it from, which is right down there. But he doesn't say much what it reports. It's just, go save Hyrule, you darn kid. I've not taken the trial of the sword because I'm kind of scared of it. Like, I've tried it once, and I really wish I had. It's not that it's not a well-designed thing, it's just... I don't like it. I really don't. Like, someday I'll try to complete the trial of the sword, but it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a trial. But if you want the max power Master Sword, you gotta do the DLC. Because... fuck you, I guess. I like how he doesn't actually seem to care that you're just climbing all over it and stuff. actually, at the top of this, there's a, well, I wouldn't say trial, more, it's called a trial, but it's just you showing a Deku, or a Korok, stuff. So yeah, I better go and show him that while I'm at it. I think I actually have a Voltfin trout. Yes, I did. Okay. Next riddle. Okay, I know what that one is. I've killed a lot of these things. Yeah, Lionels are the hardest enemy in the game. They're like boss fights. But they're not actually boss fights, they're just enemies that just happen to be really tough. Okay, I've completed the trial. Oh, that never gets old. Ah. Ah ha ha. Classic Zelda action! Smashing urns! It's the greatest! Okay, well, I've mostly kind of used up whatever energy I've got for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop now and try something else later on. I do want to use the card to capture like the rest of my Final Fantasy VII Remake stream, but I think I need another cord for that, so I'm gonna order that. Hopefully, have it in by tomorrow-ish, maybe, and then I can try to like when I'm done playing Endwalker, because Endwalker for right now is like my focus, and I seriously wish I could stream that, but I can't because my internet is made of McDonald's Wi-Fi, apparently. Good old Comcast. Anyway, this was just a quick test stream. Just see if I can get it to work again. Yeah, I can. So great.